What if the secret to your best energy, focus, and health isn't about how much you sleep, but when you sleep? Every single one of us carries an internal clock hidden deep in the brain. This clock quietly decides whether you rise with the sun like a morning lark or come alive at midnight like a night owl. For years, people thought this was just a matter of habit, but science has revealed something bigger. Your chronotype, the rhythm that pushes you toward mornings or nights, isn't random. It's written in your genes and wired into your biology. And yet, millions fight against this clock every single day. They drag themselves out of bed at 6 a.m. when their body isn't ready. They lie awake past midnight, wide-eyed, even when they need to wake up early. This mismatch creates what scientists call social jet lag. The effects go far beyond feeling tired. It can disrupt focus, weaken health, and even shorten recovery from stress. But there's hope. Understanding your chronotype can unlock sharper focus at work, deeper rest at night, and stronger long-term health. This video breaks down the science of chronotypes, what makes you a lark or an owl, how your rhythm shifts with age, and most importantly, how to finally work with your body clock instead of against it. Deep inside your brain, right above the bridge of your nose, sits a tiny cluster of neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This is your body's master clock. It quietly runs a 24-hour program that touches every system in your body. It tells your brain when to release melatonin so you feel sleepy. It sets the timing for cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up and gives you energy. It even nudges your body temperature higher or lower to keep you alert in the day and ready for rest at night. Digestion, heart rate, focus, all of them are influenced by this hidden timer. Every yawn, every sudden burst of energy, every wave of afternoon sleepiness is not random. It's all scheduled by this clock. And here's the twist. You don't really choose your rhythm. The master clock decides it for you. Some people are wired to wake at sunrise. Others are wired to hit peak energy late at night. You can fight it, but your biology always pushes back. Which raises a bigger question. What if your sleep personality is already written in your DNA? Whether you're a morning lark or a night owl isn't just about habit. It's written in your genes. Two key players are the PER3 gene and the CLOCK gene. These genes help control how your brain responds to light signals, the sunrise that tells you to wake up, or the darkness that cues your body to sleep. If your PER3 gene runs long, your clock tends to shift earlier. That makes you more likely to wake up refreshed at dawn. If it runs short, your rhythm drifts later. You may feel most alert when the world is already winding down. That's why one sibling can leap out of bed at 6 a.m. ready to jog, while another stays up coding past midnight, fully alive when others are asleep. The tension is clear. You may be hardwired for a rhythm you've spent years fighting. Forcing a night owl into a 7 a.m. office routine or dragging a lark through late-night shifts creates constant friction with biology. What happens when the lark's biology sets the pace? Morning larks are wired to rise with the sun. Their bodies release a surge of cortisol earlier in the day, giving them a quick jump into alertness. By the time others are still reaching for coffee, larks are already focused and productive. Research shows their brain activity ramps up faster in the morning, making them sharp before noon. Think of the student who sits for an 8 a.m. exam and breezes through it while classmates are still half asleep. By early evening, though, the story changes. That same student starts yawning by 9 p.m., ready for bed while others are just beginning their night. This rhythm has one big advantage. Society runs on a 9-to-5 schedule, and larks fit neatly into that mold. Jobs, schools, and routines often reward the early riser. But the strength of the lark fades fast. By night, energy is drained, and late tasks become a struggle. Early power comes at the cost of evening stamina. So if larks burn bright in the morning, what about those who only ignite when the sun goes down? Night owls are wired on a different schedule. Their brains release melatonin later, so sleepiness doesn't arrive until long after sunset. Their body temperature also peaks later, pushing their alertness and energy deep into the evening. This means owls often hit their cognitive and physical highs when others are winding down. You see it in artists who create their best work at midnight, or athletes who shine in late-night games and practices. But this rhythm creates constant conflict with a world built around early alarms. Owls dragged into 7 a.m. meetings often underperform, not because they're lazy, but because their biology is still half asleep. Yet when schedules align, owls can outperform larks, processing information, solving problems, and even showing higher creativity late in the day. Their edge isn't about waking up early. It's about thriving when the timing is right. This rhythm doesn't stay fixed for life. Does your chronotype shift as you age? Your body clock doesn't stay the same forever. It evolves with every stage of life. Children are naturally early risers. Ask any parent. Kids can bounce out of bed at 6 a.m. full of energy, even on weekends. But then comes the teenage years. During adolescence, the internal clock drifts later. Melatonin is released hours after sunset, making it nearly impossible for teens to fall asleep early. That's why teenagers often look lazy in the morning. It isn't bad habits, it's biology. Their brains are wired for a delayed rhythm. By early adulthood, the clock begins to swing back earlier. Young professionals may still prefer late nights, but gradually morning alertness returns. By middle age and beyond, most people become naturally more lark-like. Early waking feels easier, while late nights become harder to sustain. This cycle shows how strongly age reshapes sleep patterns, often as much as lifestyle choices do. But here's the problem. Society rarely adjusts to these shifts. Teens are forced into early school start times, fighting their biology every day. Older adults may struggle with late shift work that clashes with their natural rhythm. The result is widespread sleep debt, people running against their clocks instead of with them. So what happens when the world ignores these natural shifts? Most people don't live fully in sync with their body clock. They live in what scientists call social jet lag. This happens when your natural rhythm collides with schedules set by school, work, or society. An owl forced into a 6 a.m. commute feels the same strain as a traveler landing in another time zone. Except it happens every day. The body wants one thing, but the calendar demands another. The cost goes far beyond feeling tired. Studies link social jet lag to higher stress levels, weaker focus, and even metabolic problems like weight gain and diabetes risk. Your immune system can suffer too, making you more prone to illness. You can still build up sleep debt even if you technically sleep the same number of hours. If those hours are misaligned with your internal rhythm, the quality of rest is lower. You may spend more time in bed, yet wake up feeling unrefreshed. That's because the clock usually wins against the calendar. No matter how hard you try, biology pushes back when you fight your wiring. So if fighting your clock is so costly, the next step is clear. How can you actually find out your real chronotype? If you want to fix your sleep, you first need to know your chronotype. Scientists use several tools to measure it. One simple clue is your mid-sleep on free days. In other words, when you don't set an alarm, what time do you naturally fall asleep and wake up? If your midpoint of sleep lands early in the night, you're likely a lark. If it pushes well past dawn, you lean owl. Another method is the morningness-eveningness questionnaire, a survey that asks when you feel most alert and when you prefer activity. It's one of the most widely used tools to map sleep preference. Researchers also use the Munich Chronotype questionnaire, MCTQ, which digs deeper into patterns of workdays versus free days. All these approaches reveal the same truth. Your weekends often show your truest rhythm. That's when the social alarm clock turns off and your internal clock runs on its own. The surprise for many people is that their daily schedule has been lying to them. They thought they were bad sleepers, when in reality they were just living against their natural type. So the next question becomes, once you know your type, how do you finally live in sync with it? The good news is that you don't always have to fight your body clock. You can learn to work with it. The key is not to force yourself into an impossible routine, but to align your daily habits with your biology. For night owls, one powerful tool is morning light exposure. Getting sunlight or bright light early in the day helps shift the clock earlier. Pair that with earlier meals and light exercise in the morning, and the body gradually resets. For morning larks, the opposite works. Evening light, even from indoor lamps, can help delay the rhythm. Add in later workouts and meals, and the body adjusts to stay alert longer. Change doesn't happen overnight. Experts suggest small steps, like shifting your sleep and wake times by just 15 minutes at a time. This gradual approach rewires your rhythm without creating shock. Take the example of a night owl trying to adapt to a 9-to-5 job. By adding light in the morning, moving bedtime earlier in stages, and cutting late-night screen use, they can train their clock forward over weeks. The same strategy helps larks who need more evening energy for social life or shift work. The secret is clear: alignment beats force. When your schedule and biology finally match, sleep improves, focus sharpens, and health risks shrink. But this leads us to the bigger picture. What's the ultimate truth hiding behind all these rhythms? Being a lark or an owl isn't a flaw, it's your biology. For years, society labeled one group as disciplined and the other as lazy. But the truth is far simpler. Your chronotype isn't a choice, it's how your brain and body were wired to run. And here's the hidden truth. Real success comes when you stop fighting your clock and start designing life around it. Every person has a natural rhythm. Some peak with the sunrise, others find their focus when the stars are out. Neither is broken. The power lies in unlocking your type and aligning your sleep, meals, and work to match it. When you do, everything shifts. Productivity improves, health stabilizes, and happiness grows. The moral is clear. Work with your natural time, not against it. Because the question was never just, how much do you sleep? The real question is, when does your clock let you shine? The answer has been inside you all along. Your hidden clock has always been guiding you. The choice now is simple. Will you keep resisting it or finally live in sync? Whether you rise at dawn or thrive past midnight, your rhythm is valid. There is no right or wrong chronotype, only the one written into your biology. The key is to understand it, respect it, and build your life around it. When you do, you unlock better sleep, sharper focus, and steadier energy every day. This is the power of knowing your chronotype. For more science that makes life easier, hit subscribe and stay tuned. And tell me in the comments, are you a morning person or a night owl? I'll be reading.